Good morning, America. Anyway, here's the Pentastar, 90K on it, maybe a little better. Right there, VVT Gen 2. Although Gen 1 and Gen 2, I don't know what the JT, the tech says if there's 3 generations. Really, there's only 2. They revised ahead, but that didn't revise the whole motor like Gen 3 did, supposedly, because they added a, EGR rev and all that stuff. This one doesn't have an EGR valve. So what this is about is just taking care of this motor. Now, I'm not one to brag. I'm not a bragger. But damn, I know about these cars. And these Mopar mechanics are not telling you everything. Okay. So let's start on bank 2. That's the passenger side. And I wish I had a pointer. I don't think I have one. Back down here, right there. I don't know if you can see that down there. Let me see if I can focus on it. See that right there? That brakes. Okay, and David Pike at Motor City Mechanics got a fix for that, so I'm not even going to go into that. At 100,000 or even earlier, get a new cap. Make sure it's an 18 PSI. Doesn't matter if it's plastic. They're using plastic now. But anyway, change the struts at 100K. Why? Why not? It's a good thing to do. All these 300s, Challengers, Chargers, 11 and up, and I think they're earlier Challengers, but don't quote me on that, we'll take the Hellcat airbox. What's different about the Hellcat airbox? I just sold one. But it goes down, at a less deep angle, less sharp angle, so the air can flow better. Plus, it's got a fucking big hole. I don't know if you can see it down there. Usually there's a pipe for the Challengers to go up to a thing, up to the front end. So put a Hellcat air filter in there. Also, you can get that at Rock Auto. Just looked up to 15 Hellcat, and all takes the same filter. And this has got one in it, and it breathes better, and it's better than a K&N, I believe. And the flow test, the Hellcat would use a K&N if that's what was needed. Go ahead and get your 530, so at least someone won't put 520 in the damn thing, because you don't want that. Okay. Air conditioning is okay. Thank the Lord, because this thing takes that really expensive stuff. Okay. Clean this out. You can get an SRT version of this right here. The air cover, they're about $50. They have less grooves in there, but I just took my Dremel and cleaned it out, so it flows just like an SRT. What else? Okay, these are the VVT solenoids. You should always have an extra one. Right down there, let me see. Right down there, with the little cross, there's the thermostat. You should change that. Okay. Change the water pumps. Change the Serpentine belt. Right there is the tensioner, and I got a video that shows how to just change the pulley in there. Make sure the harmonic balancer is okay. I changed my belt, put a Gates on here. Mopar one looked really good at 90,000, so it still looks good. There is an idler here. It is the idler is right there. Let me sorry. It's below the belt. Okay. Right there it is. Okay. I changed the idler. I've got a watch my Serpentine belt change. I had to put an OEM on there, but it was making noise, rackety. Change those 2 hoses. I would use Mopar. I don't know who makes them. The air filter, by the way, on in there is made by Molly. I think it's 3482, LX 3482. Let me hang this light back up. Right here, this is a little vent. You follow the tube all the way around to the back. When I changed my fluid, I used actual 9-speed in my 8-speed transmission. Actual Mopar oil. My Mopar guy at the garage gave it to me free of charge. I don't know what that was about. But anyway, you can detach this thing right here. detach that right there, and then hold this up in the air. And using a syringe, I got a video on it, so watch that. That's how you can fill your thing in if you don't want to fill it the other way. It's hard to fill it up all the way properly. David at Motor City Mechanic has the proper technique. If you don't fill it right, you'll screw up the motor. I use 1060 oil in this thing right now, castor oil, supercar oil. Another good thing is to change that cap, by the way. I got some videos on that, and there's some dirty little secrets about this. 14 and up uses the new oil filter and the new adapter because of bypass filter problems, but you need to know about those problems. Watch my videos, and they'll teach you about those problems. The oil canister is down here. You can look for oil down here. Mine, I don't know if I can see it. There's no oil down there. You can see it. There's a little bit of spilled oil. I don't know if you look down there. A little bit of spilled oil, but very, very little. If it's leaking oil, if those seals are leaking, it'll leak all over. But get a new cap. Don't get a Dorman or some cheap crap. Get a genuine OEM. They're about $14 at the garage. And then the oil filter adapter. Most times when I've done about 50 of them, and I've done about a dozen of the new Dorman metal ones. So the metal ones, you need to put new sensors on. So I just buy new sensors from the garage, OEM garage, Dodge garage. Get new sensors. Don't buy any cheap piece of crap, from China for $78 off eBay or Amazon. Don't buy that shit. It's junk. That's what it is. I mean, you want to tear it all back apart because the sensor's bad? Come on. So, but the Dorman piece is made out of metal. It's 4 pounds. It's significant. And anyway, so it's worthwhile changing. And I buy OEM. It comes with all the seals for upper and lower intake and all that, and the filter itself, or the canister itself. It comes with all new filters, new seals, but I still get OEM ones. And that should cure my problem. There's also right here, I don't know if you can see it. I'll look at the light again. That tube right here, right there, that's the crossover. The thermostat, that's right. The thermostat's right there. Okay, see the thermostat, the little crosshatch right there? See it right there in the bottom right-hand corner? Okay, that plugs into the crossover, which is right there, okay? And that's plastic. That'll fail too. David Motor City Mechanics got the solution, and Dorman makes a product that's sitting right to the right of me. I haven't put it on here. I will soon. I've got it. It's like $28, pretty reasonable. Don't forget about that tensioner down there, man. The pulley goes bad on them. And when you're check out my Serpentine thing, it teaches you about all these pulleys, how to check them, because no one does that. Okay. Change that dipstick right there. That dipstick will go bad, break off. David at Motor City Mechanic covers that for you. Here's the intake here. Okay, hooks up to your throttle body. I got videos, 4 of them, on that, how to clean that out. And if you live in a state where there's a lot of Democrats, there'll be shit in the fuel. Trust me. But you need to clean that thing out, because when I cleaned mine, it was dirty. I don't even beat on this car. The spark plugs, right there's, anybody that knows what they're doing here. Right there's the newbies. Right there's 6 of these, 3 on this side, 3 on the other. It's V6. This is 1, 1, 3, 5. And the other side's 2, 4, 6. Okay, there's a firing order. Okay, when you get top dead center, when you do the timing chain, that kind of stuff, anything with the rocker arms, you need to make sure the number 1 over here is on top dead center. It's easy to do. Okay, so change the plugs. There's a new lithium made by NGK, and if you look at the plug, it's got surfaces that are like iridium-like. It's lithium, a little more expensive, but they got surfaces on both the electrode and the ground. So I'm going to put them in here soon just to test them. But I got a couple of my buddies. I belong to a very large PENTASTAR group here in a very larger city. I don't want to mention the city. So have an extra coil for you, just like those the solenoids that run the VVL. Have an extra one of those ready. But at about 90,000, I got a review. It's got a couple of thousand views on it. Got a video on that, how to change the plugs. I don't go into all the detail, but some things you need to check the resistance, and you don't want to put a bad plug in, rip off titanium, and then have to redo it. But I've got Mopar 9407s in here. That's what it comes. That's what the OEM is. So that's what I put in here. One of the more crucial things of this, other than the oil filter adapter, which sucks, and when it leaks, it'll leak all over your transmission, like JT says. But right here is the that's the PCV valve, and you need a little kit. I've got plenty of, sorry, I'm looking for my little toolkit. I can't find it. I don't see it. Sorry. There's a little toolkit. Check out my PCV valve video, and it allows you to, get in here. There's 2 bolts in here. 2 bolts here. It allows you to get in there. It's a very small ratchet. It's $20. I picked up a bunch for 10. I got them selling on Mercari right now, but anyway, that's how you take that off. Get it, I change them every 30,000. Don't go 100,000. Just watch my video. And if this sucker is not working right, it's going to plunk oil all over in the intake. There is right here, there's a centrifugal portion of your exhaust valve, exhaust cam that's got a centrifuge on it, and it gets rid of most of the oil. But when I took this thing apart, the intake was just absolutely caked with oil. So I had to clean that out. So anyway, it's very crucial. Wouldn't hurt, to change that tube right here. Mine's okay, but if it's frayed, you do not want a vacuum leak on this car. Okay, so change the plugs, and then if you want to see if you got any sludge in here, I'm with JT. Pull out one of these here. That's the cam sensor. And pull it out and just take a look at it. If you got sludge in there, it's time to get rid of the motor, especially if you didn't own it. This one I bought a year old. Right here is the purge valve, and they're only like $17 on Amazon or Rock Auto, which I like Rock Auto. It's very cheap. Change that out. That'll save you some grief. And I talked about a throttle body, the spark plugs, all the belt. Nothing wrong with an OEM belt. Filling up the transmission. You got an 8-speed? People, you need to drop the fluid in that thing. Come on. I know Mopar says, well, whatever, But let me tell you something about Mopar. They just care about the warranty. They don't care after warranty. So JT will tell you too, at online mechanic tips, whatever. He'll say change the oil. During the warranty period, you better use the right stuff, and you have better proof that you did it. Don't forget about the Sachs struts that are on this thing. Sachs makes most of the OEM. For Mopar, I just changed the back ones. I put the back struts I put from the heavy-duty Scat Pack suspension. I put the rear suspension shocks on it, and let me tell you, the car just it rides like a dream, and it handles a lot better, even though this thing's an SE. The front struts, I'm going to get the same kind. I'm just having a little difficulty finding them. And they were pretty reasonable. They were like on Amazon, they weren't available on Amazon. I went to Rock Auto. I think they were like $52 a piece, and then about $12 to ship the 2. So that's not bad at all. So the front struts, I've changed them on many Chargers. They're easy to change. You do have to undo the top control arm, A-frame. If you don't know what you're doing, that's not a job for you. You can damn near kill yourself. I mean, if you don't know what coil springs are and what they can do, you will kill yourself. There's one guy on YouTube, I don't know if it's still there, but 10 years ago it was. He took off the top, the bolt that's underneath here. He took that bolt off, and it was in a parking lot, and that spring, I think it flew 200 feet. So anyway, but enjoy this motor. It's pretty damn tough. It's got 4-volt mains on it. Check your fluids. This oil in this car, even though the motor is a little bit dirty, I'm going to clean it up right now, but use some 303 protectorant. It's best on the market. People, you have to change the oil. I change the oil every really 1,000 miles, sometimes 15 if I'm a little lazy. I'm sick. The doctors think I have cancer. Well, they know I do, but so I'm just doing what I can, but I try to change the oil every 1,000 miles. I buy oil in bulk. I change a lot of people's oils. But let me tell you, this thing purrs like a kitten. And it's got 97,000, I think, on it now. So, but I baby it. I don't beat the shit out of it. I mean, I think why the rocker arms fail which can eat the fuck out of the cams and give you immense problems, is because people drive the fuck out of these cars. Hey, people, if you want a Hemi, get a fucking Hemi, okay? This thing's got 300 horsepower almost. It's got plenty of horsepower. I burn the rubber all the time. Well, there's some... I'm not saying, but there could be some meth kind of hooked up to this thing too. So I smoke SRTs. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. And that's purely optional, of course. You know, it's hard to get hold of too. But anyway, maybe I'm just making that shit up. Who knows? Who knows? Anyway, people, don't beat the fuck out of this motor. You're not going to hurt the bottom, man. You're going to hurt the top, okay? And if you don't change the oil, I mean, do you know how many Democrats I love Democrats, by the way. I love them. And I like PT Cruisers. Not that I work on them, but they make mechanics a lot of money. It's good. But people, if you beat down your motor and you don't change the oil but every 10,000 miles or 14,000 miles or whatever you do, you are screwed. And I'm going to make a commercial video about the new Quaker stove. If you go to Rat 540, he's an engineer, and he's I think he reviewed 150 different kind of oils. He just rated the brand new Quaker State. Advanced Durability was the old name. Now it's just called Full Synthetic. It is truly made in full synthetic source. You know, this Mobile One down there, see it down there? When you take that to Europe, you can no longer call it a full synthetic because it's not. It's made out of base 3 stocks. These Pentastars, in my opinion, hate that oil. When I put it in, you know, the 520, what it calls for, because that's what it used to say, 520 there. I threw that damn thing right in the garbage. This thing's never going to see that weight again. It's got too many miles. But when you put that Mobile One in these motors, they don't like it. And I was using Ultra Platinum sometimes, which is good. That's what they sell at the garage. That's what the Hellcats take. But the pressure strength is only about 93,000, which is good. It's very good, okay? But that Quaker State, I've got a bunch ordered now because I'm going to drop this oil. It's got almost 1,000 miles. So I'm going to put the Quaker State in. That's got like 138. It's rated #1. Go to the article. It's long. It's going to take you 2 hours to read it. But go if you just don't want to read everything, go down to the rating and go down to the Quaker State. Full synthetic. It's rated #1. The pressure rating PSI is like 136,000 or maybe 142 or something. It's ungodly high. It's above everything. Now the Ultra is good if you put some Prolong in it because it adds some chlorine, and then it brings it up over 100. But man, why not just buy Quaker State? So that's what I'm starting to recommend, and that's what I'm going to start putting in cars. And I'm going to try some myself. And I've got several people. They sell it at Walmart, by the way, for about $20 for 5 quarts. So, you know, buy 3 and then you at least get two oil changes, you know, with the 3 of them. So heck, it's cheap. It's a lot cheaper than Mopar Garage. So anyway, hopefully I've helped you in here. You know, there's no EGR, so you don't have to worry about this is the 2nd generation. So change the struts, change the shocks in the back, change that little valve back there, little valve right there, okay? Change the PCV valve every 30,000 miles. Got a video on it. Change out the airbox. And anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I got a phone call, so I'm going to let you go.